Hello, and welcome to the 189th episode of Gaming Talk. On this episode, I'm going to be discussing and giving my thoughts on Medal of Honor Airborne. Let's get into it. First thing we need to start with is what sets Airborne apart from any other World War II FPS game, and that is the jumping from an aircraft thing. This is the only thing that you have a tutorial of in the game that the game attempts to teach you. Yeah, I felt like the tutorial for jumping was extremely lacking, as I don't think it does the job of teaching you the actual mechanic, more of just having you do it, and that's it. The tutorial makes you do a jump 3 times, and for me, I got the botched landing every time, and I never felt like the game taught me how to do it better. This mechanic happens at the beginning of every single mission, and every single time you die. And every time I did a jump, I got a botched landing. Honestly, feel like this mechanic is ultimately pointless because it doesn't have any effect on the remainder of the mission after you land. I botched every single landing. It did not affect me in any way, shape, or form. I didn't have less health or less ammo or anything when I did botch the landing. And that just makes it feel really pointless to me. A big thing that led to some frustration is that the AI felt really stupid, especially my allies. A countless number of times, I would see my ally soldiers go to spots, clear the enemies, and just kind of chill there. I could actually go back to those spots and find my ally soldiers just sitting there, doing nothing, not helping me. I'd move on and charge into the next group of enemies all by myself without any help because they're just chilling in a previous spot. In most of these situations, I would be fine charging in on my own, but there were some spots where these stupid ally soldiers of mine doing this would just add to frustration. The big case in point is the mission that ends where you have to take a bridge. This bridge was full of not only many rocket launcher enemies, but also a tank at the end that you have to destroy to complete the mission. That part of the mission was extremely frustrating because I had no one to cover me while I am trying to take out the rocket launcher guys before going to the tank. The game itself runs pretty well for a 2007 game. I did run into some visual glitches that I honestly found funny. Mostly in the last campaign part where there's 2 large elevators with crates on them, and those elevators with crates were popping in and out very rapidly, and then when I would stand on it, it would make my weapons pop in and out very rapidly too. Again, I found it kind of funny seeing this. Something that I actually really liked about this game is how it has like 5, I think, campaign missions in total. But those missions are long. This is because they went the route of having single large maps with like 5 objectives spread out across the map that you just run from one objective to another. And I like that. It gives these missions a sense of scale that a game like this should have. And yeah, the missions would have cutscene breaks sometimes, but still in the same map, so that doesn't really take away from anything. But yeah, I really liked how they did this, and it kind of reminds me of how Battlefield 5 did its campaign, having like 5 missions in total that would take like an hour or more to get through. I like it. I like it more than, 15 campaign missions that take 20 minutes to get through or something like that. Last thing I want to mention is the weapon thing in this game. There are these moments where like you kill an enemy and things would get blurry in slow motion, and the game would be like, here, have this reward for accuracy, I think. So it would give you like scopes, larger magazines, and muzzle brakes for whatever weapon you're using. Honestly, found these moments a little annoying, especially when I am facing a lot of enemies. This is something I'd personally put at the end of a mission, not popping up at random moments throughout the mission. But overall, Airborne really isn't a bad game. For 2007, doesn't look that graphically dated either. I find it nice to be able to go back and play classic FPS games like this one, especially since Medal of Honor hasn't been a thing since Warfighter in 2012. Medal of Honor Airborne is a good and enjoyable game. That's going to do it for this episode, so if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.